Hello, and welcome everybody to another Punishing Grave Raven stream. It is I, the number one MIKU imposter here today, sipping some tea. I trust that all of you are doing well. And now, let me see here. Well, today I will be continuing the story of Everglowing Justice. The question is, will we actually do justice, or are we just gonna, murder everybody? Because that's also an option. Anyway, sit back, relax, enjoy. We're gonna continue the story from last time. Everyone who has ever lived in Utopia would never say this. Chad Manda, oh, Chad Dund, and nothing but an echo. Anyway, Utopia was a wonderful place. I lived there for as long as I can remember. They took in many children and constructs. Some constructs formed the Aurora Squadron, while others were charged of maintaining the operation of Utopia. The person in charge of Utopia was Dr. Pigman. You know, the name of Pigman reminds me of the, Nintendo game series Pikmin. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Dr. Pigman made many rules for Utopia, teaching us about truth and justice through beautiful songs, telling us that we must follow them so that we could contribute to the world when we grow up. Devote everything to kindness and love, never disregard what is righteous. Walk in the path of wisdom without arrogance or faltering. Be fair, be just, be humble, be prudent. You're here, Doctor. Wow, what's with the massive art difference? No, very cartoonish, and then you got more realistic. Well, at least make the art consistent. Alisa, did you study hard today? The scrawny middle-aged man watches the young child lovingly with his golden eyes. Of course. Didn't I tell you that I'm going to be the best prefect in Utopia? I know the Utopia protocols like the back of my hand. Good girl. Should I reward you with your favorite snack during dinner? The orange-flavored one you love? Thank you. The man with the golden eyes smiles as he leans down and pats young Alisa on the shoulders. I know Alisa is going to be the best of us. It's almost time, Doctor. Ah, I almost forgot the important thing. Come with me for a second. There's something I need your help with for the experiment. Yes, Doctor. Pigman nods at the teacher, and the teacher immediately puts down the textbook and follows Pigman out of the room. Adults and their business. Her lesson interrupted, and Elise puts down her book at a loss. But study time isn't over yet. What should I do? I go to Celsi. Celsi has the best stories. That was the counselor standing, I think. Having ruminated what to do, Elise happily decides to plan for the rest of her study time. Inside Utopia, a couple of constructs are sitting or standing in a quiet corner, focusing on their work. Is this her mother? Older sister? Oh, of course, it has to be the older sister because her robot is Nissan and also Celsius. Yeah, why didn't I make the dots immediately? Stupid of me. Elise, intentionally lowers her voice as she carefully runs to her construct with long purplish grey hair. She holds her skirt up, slightly performs a complicated curtsy. Elise, is your chess over already? Oh, your class over already? The female construct named Celsi smiles gently and tucks away her hair before she reaches out, performing a curtsy in return and gesturing for Elise to sit down. What did you learn today? The teacher didn't teach anything new. We just revisited the Utopia protocols today. The teacher got called away halfway through class. I suppose there was something important that needed to be done. Celsi looks down, complicated emotions flashing past her eyes. I see. How about I tell you a story? Yay! Do you remember where we were last time, Elise? Little Elisa was going to look for her brothers. Poor Elisa. I wouldn't have known what to do. Right. Elisa ran into an old woman in the woods. The kind woman told her about the 11 crowned swans swimming along the nearby river. The old woman gave Elisa some fruits and guided her to a winding river ahead of them. After saying goodbye to the kind woman, Elisa walked along the river until she reached the beautiful ocean. The waves from the ocean produced 11 white swan feathers. When the sun was about to set, little Elise saw 11 crowned swans descending from the sky. I'm gonna finish on my tea. It's cold where I am. If I don't drink it soon, eventually it will go cold. Elisa raises a hand to indicate that she has something to say. Elisa, do you have a question? What does the ocean look like? Elsie pauses and tucks her hair away again before holding Elise in her arms. The ocean is where many rivers and streams converge. It is endless and boundless, so expansive it looks like it will go on forever. I've seen a golden ocean when its waves reflected the morning light. I've seen a pink ocean during the golden hours of twilight. I've seen its water and its darkness blue during a storm. Wow! Elise listens to Elsie's description longingly. You'll see the ocean one day, Elise. She smiles as she caresses Elise's forehead. Really? Like Elisa did? Of course. Little Elisa held onto her kindness and purity, which is why the evil queen's toad magic failed to take her hold. She could only reunite with her brothers in the end because she never gave up. So there is nothing you need to fear as long as you let nothing change you. Justice is bound to echo through the land, and eventually... The door to the room opens. A female construct enters, subtly poking Celsi. Ahem. Nata. Alright, Elisa, we'll end today's story here, okay? I have to follow Utopia's rules and do my job now. Okay. Despite how much she wants to keep listening to Elise's story, Elisa nods corruptly. Goodbye, Celsi. Goodbye, Nata. Elise jumps down from the chair next to Celsi and performs a standard salute before departing. I forgot my book. Elise realizes she's forgotten something before she walks out the door. Turning around, she knows that Nata's saying something to Celsi. Celsi, you know full well. She's just a kid, Nata. Doesn't understand anything. Don't blame a child for the sin. We should be the ones working hard. I get it. I was being rash. Elisa is a good kid. Have you found those people? Do any of them show any inclination to escape this place? Pigman has been too good to them. He's basically flawless, providing food and sufficient water, plenty of care, and fair rules. They all see Pigman as a savior, believing that he's sincere building this place as a real utopia. I released a lot of internal information on the lab, but they wouldn't believe it. Yeah, there are enough supplies in this place: food, sufficient water, variables. Who could say no to these things in this day and age? Does he not love everyone in Utopia sincerely? He does plenty indeed. He even punished the leading figures who caused the disruptions only because they disrupted Utopia's order. Celsi, don't get angry, these are the truths. But you know how, Seeker? I know, which is why I think of a way. There's no use rushing, Nata. Have you gotten the code to the door outside? I got it, but I've put it somewhere they never think of. I'll arrange what happens later. Don't be impulsive. We will escape this place with Seeker and Arabella. Justice will eventually prevail, won't it? Enough of these lies for children. We wouldn't have been in hell if justice existed. Nata pushes the door open angrily and leaves. My teacher told me not to interrupt people's conversations, so Celsi and had also left by the time I knocked on the door. I didn't understand what Celsi was saying back then, but now she must have thought about leaving as well. Unfortunately, I figured it out too late. Although Echo's sadness seems genuine, you cannot let down your guard just because of a short story. Celsi, you seem to have seen his name before. Was it from the annual list of deceased constructs or somewhere else? If Celsi was a Babylonian construct, there must be a file on her up there. Echo lowers her head slightly and fabled armor-like chrono test subject sits right beside her, gently touching Echo's soldiers. Why would they want to escape if Utopia was that good? Dr. Pigman even sounds like a rare ultraist from Echo's descriptions. Food, sufficient water, plentiful care, fair rules. Even Babylonia cannot guarantee these to everyone who enters a conservation area now. We would those constructs plan to escape if it was the case. I was the cause of all these sins. Utopia might not have existed if it weren't for me, and they wouldn't have had. But that's another story. Rest. We still have a long way to go tomorrow. She fiddles with the campfire, and the surroundings go dim. Unspoken pain. The dawning sun rises above the horizon, outlining the silhouettes of Conservation Area 112. That's right. I hit her. Is everything okay? My mind is hurting a little bit. I guess it's the after effects of yesterday's interference. It's nothing major. Let's keep moving. Babylonia has registered Conservation Area 112 as a Hedra creature ambush conservation area. An outpost destroyed because of Hedra creatures. Only a few residents who went out to gather supplies managed to escape. Everyone else inside the conservation area, including the task force that went to help, did not survive the incident. It was a while before some remains were found in the nearby field, but even those who cannot be confirmed do belong to residents of Conservation Area 112. However, if Asimov saw records of this conservation area in the internal experiment reports from Fort Winter, is the destruction of Conservation Area 112 related to Utopia as well? I can't remember exactly, but Utopia did not take in a lot of people. Every once in a while, some of them were humans. Some were heavily injured constructs. Ah, well, thank you for the follow. I'm always gonna be laughing at that follow alert. Oh dear. Usually how it goes. Well, thank you for that, the wolf. How? Where were I? All I remember is they seem to come from many different places: conservation areas, Forsaken, even Babylonia. Celestia came from Babylonia, as a matter of fact. For some reason, she always shook her head with a smile when I asked about Babylonia, as if she was upset. Ah. Ahoy there. Ahoy there, wolf. Echo presses her forehead again. Your mind is still in pain. Yeah, but it should be nothing severe. Let's take a break. Sounds good. Surprisingly, Echo does not protest your request to rest. For once, you choose a somewhat cleaner spot by the road to sit down. You take this time to send Lee all the information you have gathered from the Echo's story and ask him to encrypt it before sending it to Asimov. From what you have gathered, Corona likely has a secret force called Aurora Squadron on the surface based on flying fortress called Utopia. Dr. Pickman was apparently in charge of Utopia, and Utopia took in some constructs from Babylonia, as one of them was called Celsi. Would Corona really create a place that was meant to take in injured constructs of folks from conservation areas out of kindness of their heart? Of course not. You quickly finish editing your message before calling for Echo to continue the journey, but you hear a humming of the armor instead. Echo? Ah, Celsi! No! Father! No! Mind interference. You hear a low buzz from ahead of you. You notice a drone equipped with a mind disruptor. Lee is nearby. You immediately message him for a reinforcement while inspecting Echo's status. Echo? Echo? Commandant? Echo seems still somewhat unconscious. Contact Asimov's off. Odd. Speak quickly. It's risky to contact me this way. How disable is a mind being interfered with this way? You want me to diagnose this for a call? What kind of magical doctor do you think I am? A device that attacks the mind directly? Asimov finally sounds intrigued. If she's still conscious, connect to her and enter her deep mind. Try to stabilize her from within. But it's risky, after all. You have been to perform a deep mind connection with her using your mind beacon. No one knows what exists in the mind of a construct Babylonia hasn't registered. How did you get involved with her? This is a temporary alliance. Temporary alliance? She has something we want. If you can bring Echo back to Babylonia before the Purifying Force does, you will be a step ahead of Kurono. It's dangerous, but it's plausible. Be careful. Bring me a sample of that mind. Disrupt the device. I have to hang up. Call me on this channel again if there's an emergency. Asimov answers the call. Can you hear me, Echo? Echo struggles to respond. I have established a mind connection with you to stabilize your mind. Echo rises a finger, indicating that she is ready. Commencing mind connection. I guess this is when she became a construct. This is the Utopia lab. Echo! Cecile! Is that you? Shh! We don't have much time. Let me tell you some small secrets about the mind. The mind is a complicated struggle. Through here you can regain some information you forgot. When you're lost, remember to find your path here. During the event, you can attack the enemies in the mind to force them into fights to find a way out. Sincerely, Shh, go. I will always be with you. So we're gonna use brain damage. Let's charge up. Did we just brain damage that guy? Without no one beating an eye? Okay. Um, sure. We could abandon these naive ideas and take another look at the previous experience from a broader viewpoint. These are failures through and through without a doubt. I was working in the wrong direction right from the beginning. Thankfully, I still have time. The mind is a deep subject. I will come up with a satisfactory answer one day. Ah, no worries, Wolf. Take care and good luck. Have a good time. A satisfactory answer. Was it? Sincerely? Alright, who are we gonna give a tumor to now? No one. Attacking people's brains. What's this? Private journal. Some projects in Philia materials were modified. These kids were dead, and she was also destroyed. Why would we care about these meaningless data now? Is it Philia? Project? She? Father, how many secrets do you have? The routine check is done. Among these children, 6 samples are qualified into the next round of cultivation. I found that their minds have a higher fusion rate. Professor Blank thinks it's due to the physical fitness. I think so. Don't think so. After inquiring about these children, I found that they all grew up in the same orphanage and received the same education. Does this have any impact on their mind? This could give birth to a new theory. Elisa is the best, Pikmin. These should be the most important memories in this section of your mind. Grey Raven Commandant's mind connection established your mind. You can stay here a while longer. Would you like to leave or stay in the mind and explore more information? Gosh, surely. The mind is now stable. Echo, look. Looks like you're out of danger. Now the mind is stable, you can plan to recall any memory of the specific time or place. I don't know if this is possible. After all, this is your mind. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Just do what you want to do. Watch for the big door. Yes. Going for memories. Go that way. Seems to be the snowfield. If it's in the snowfield, it's either in North America or in the Arctic Reunion. Finally, I have some time to get some fresh air. Utopia is a nice place. Now it's game time for the kids. You want to join them? Let's play. Are we actually gonna play? You found. You have to look for 3 kids. Yeah, that's a kid right there. Wait, this is the same location from the Alpha Lucia fight. Wait. There's a kid. Still have a child's heart, Echo. And we're gonna hunt down kids. We're gonna hunt them down and force them to play games. One more to go. And I think it's... there they are. Little one. Oops, you caught me. I found everyone. Hey, you got a strong music. A Derbian construct indeed. Kids, so much for a game plan today. No, no, no. You play the game, so we deserve a reward. Huh? Is that so? I'm looking for a reward. Me. I found this painting over the other day when I was reading the Utopia Protocol. I want to have the painting. I remember being the winner today. Oh boy, this is the painting I gave Father. Don't you have the painting as a reward for being a big winner? And of course, it's all gonna go downhill. Let's find out more secrets. Do they really need so many huge doors in this corridor? Proceed to second floor. Okay. Anyone I can give a tumor to? No one. How's the brain? Smart left Alina. Have to figure out where to get in. The mind is complicated. Probably just the time is wrong. Let's come back another time. I'm gonna say night. Well, I discovered something else I was not expecting. Mine. It hurts. I kill them all. Alright, that's an escalation. Let's charge this up. Let's go. Let's go. Shit took a while to die. Don't want anything. Nina, what are you trying to tell me? We're going into the vent. Where does the ventilation pipe lead to? Hey, Kate, have we ever walked through it? These are... Fusion experiment record. Performed mind fusion on 2 subjects who were forced to relinquish their survival instinct. Rejection rate observed 64%. Performed mind fusion on 1 subject who has forced to relinquish their survival instinct, and 1 subject who willingly relinquished their survival instinct. Rejection rate observed 48%. Performed new fusion on 2 subjects who were both willingly relinquished their survival instinct. Rejection rate observed 25%. Conclusion: a strong correlation has observed between the rejection rate of subjects' will to live in small sample experiments. Need to increase the sample size for further research. Continue weakening of a subject's will and sample as necessary. So you need to do it to people who want to commit suicide. Interesting. You'll be lost if you stay in the mine for too long. It's time to leave, Echo. Chad Mandit is here to save the day. Echo sits up abruptly, clutching her forehead in pain. How are you feeling? Lee has shot down the mine disruptor from afar, but the artifacts are not likely to subside anytime soon when it comes to mine interferences. It's no big deal. I just remembered some things. Those weren't pleasant memories. Recalling the memories she saw in her mind, she finds it ironic that the songs about justice and order were placed with the journals of the mine research project. That place used to be different. It should have been looked like. The good she remembers mixed up with the ugly she never recognized, forming a series of chains that never would have confined her tightly. Ugh, calm down. Echo looks to be in great pain, and the armor beside her begins to produce a strange hum. You cannot help but feel that Echo has a really close tie with Chrono test subject. Right, I'm okay. Just in a minute. Taking a deep breath, Echo looks slightly less pale. Having made sure that her mind has not greatly deviated, you begin to sort out the bits and pieces of information glimpsed on her mind. After getting Echo's permission, Utopia has been performing legal research on the mind this whole time. No wonder they can produce so many devices that can directly interfere with our mind. But what is the connection between Echo and Pigman? Was she the one of the symbols? Echo quiets down upon hearing your question. No, he adopted me and raised me, letting me call him father. Is your father? Echo is Pigman's adopted daughter. Such an intimate bond. With this new clue, you cannot help but reevaluate this temporary alliance you have with Echo. I know you will react this way. However suspicious and doubtful you are, this information should verify part of what I've told you. I hope there's enough to convince you to uphold our alliance. Well, I'm going to contemplate. We're seemingly well behaved by young children, the mysterious journals, and everything else you seem to suggest that the laboratory is more than meets the eyes. Has Utopia always been like this? It wasn't like this at first. Pigman, I mean, used to be loving and patient. He takes us to play on the deck. I don't know how you became this way he is now. Michael quiets down suddenly, probably recalling the research journals she saw in her memories. Was that really the case, or was his kindness always a facade? Those journals from your mind were all written by Pigman? Yes. He used to bring me with him all the time when I was younger. I probably saw those journals back then, but he didn't avoid when he was working. I don't know why. I have no recollections on any of them. That should be it. If Echo's memories were accurate, why did the penmanship look kind of familiar to you? You seem to have seen a similar signature on a report before. You suddenly remembered another scrawny man with golden eyes. Mr. Corono, please hurry up. You're going to be late for the meeting. Corono? When I was still a member of Chrono, I met him in person and was just accidentally come across his data file. I thought he was on the board of directors, but it turned out his name was just a coincidence. Could it be him? The doctor whose name coincidentally appeared in an inspection report during your confined treatment. Has Pigman told you anything about Babylonia? Never. He left for scientific exchanges occasionally, but he never mentioned the outside world. Is something wrong? Not sure yet. Miku turned silent again. She seems to have encountered layer after layer of mysteries. Each time she lifts a layer, she would find the answer behind it written in blood. Every discovery would be burning her with another shackle filled with sins. Devote everything to kindness and love. Never disregard what is righteous. As if the things I insist on are a joke. Her voice sounds desperate as she is suffocating. We'll chase down every lead, no matter what. Right or wrong, the truth will be revealed one way or another. Rest, we have a long way to go tomorrow. Echo quiets down again, leaning on the armor as she closes her eyes. The vehicle outside the conservation area seems to have waited there for a while. Trojan approaches it from nearby, travel stained. The deal has no work during my break. I have to charge him with triple my hour rate. I'll let Mr. Norman know. And here's the vehicle and equipment you requested. Although it's naive to think this thing can help catch the corona test subject, I suppose it's better than not having it. What happened with the information I told you to spread? It's out there. The Purifying Forces seem to buy it, but seeing that they did lose their target, they seem to send some of theirs to investigate the conservation areas that cited a construct with purple hair. Expand the spread of information toward the center of the clean zone. It will be easy to deal with the rest if we manage to draw those people away. On the unknown construct leaves after Trojan communicates the plans forward. She opens the door of the vehicle and turns to look in the direction of the Conservation Area 109. That's enough money to retire if I manage to capture the corona test subject. Tisk, whatever. Trojan grumbles before signing and stepping into the vehicle, leaving Conservation Area 109 behind. A hidden stage in the story mission. Price and compensation. Every fine rule and grand vision has prerequisites. Above these foundations are a separate set of rules, obviously. Babylonia. Wells sits in the corner in silence. The air in the room is still as frozen lake. Zod has entered Conservation Area 112 as planned. Conservation Area 112. It's about time to start the investigation on Silver Falcon. Wells looks up as triggered by a keyword. He takes down the badge with sharp edges from his socket, the Silver Falcon eager to take off from his palm. Silver Falcon. Has the proposal to restart the investigation finally passed? The report on Fort Winter has records of Conservation Area 112 on it. They suspect the two were related, thus approving the investigation. The mission briefing back then? Silver Falcon immediately went to the surface after receiving reports of corrupted and hetero creature activities. The objective was to protect the residents of 112 while eliminating as many enemies as possible. It was a standard mission, but it never came back. By the time I found out, every member has listed as deceased. An entire elite squad has decimated in such a simple mission, yet no one has suspected any wrongdoing, not even me. Was no one suspicious for real? Wells, Cecily, Nutter, Arabella, Sika. Is this belated justice even necessary? Will goes quiet. Hanson wants to offer a few words, but he does no idea what to say. Right then, they hear a knock on the door. Come in. I finished analyzing part of the research data we retrieved from Fort Winter. From what I can tell, their research direction was twofold. Twofold? Mind fusion and mind replication. There isn't much I can find on the former, as mind replication was the main objective of Fort Winter. I've combed through all their known data. I haven't discovered anything else on mind fusion. Mind fusion? Corona proposed this idea before, but there's no actual experiment data in Fort Winter. From the text I could analyze, Corona had proposed something even more extreme upon the foundation of mind fusion. They theorized that one of the requirements of the Ascension Network used to be the filter ascendants was a powerful enough mind. If they could expand a mind to include as many consciousnesses as possible, they could create a powerful enough one that could approach the Ascension Network with greater chance of becoming an Ascendant. Is that really possible? It's completely unrealistic based on our current theories, but then, the planet's virus is beyond the scope of our understanding. Remember the two constructs from Strivehawk? Kamui and Kamu? Corona has no doubt acquired special means through many unconventional experiments. Judging how the minds of the two Strikehawk constructs are fused, Corona's research on this area is apparently quite mature. So my answer to your question is I cannot confirm if it is possible. If they're indeed conducting this type of experiment, I suggest looking into the records of a defecting of the missing constructs. Promotion. Not much interested in promotion. Thank you anyway. As if they indeed conducted this type of experiment, I was just looking into the records of defecting and missing constructs. Babylonian constructs would be the best test subject for them. As Amorph returns to the Science Council after the meeting, his terminal rings and he receives a seemingly normal report on a construct frame. Tapping the screen of his terminal, he finds the details of the report listed one by one. Aurora Squadron, Chrono's private laboratory, capability between minds. Is this what comes after the Fort Winter fire? Minds are more complicated if they were alive in the same social system and the same rules. Are minds that can hardly identify with the same set of mundane rules? Fundamentally capable of passing the Ascension Network's filtering? Doesn't matter. This fire arrives just in time. He deletes the browsing history and thinks for a second before opening another chat window in his terminal. There's no one inside the aircraft for you. Echo leads you to search inside the inner Avil, as if it appears to have been abandoned for a while. So this is the Flying Fortress? It is a little different from the massive Flying Fortress exit you described. Utopia is a fleet of flying fortresses. This is only one of the smaller ones. If necessary, the flying fortress can be disassembled, leaving just a large one in the center. She cautiously bends down and inspects the tracks on the ground. Nina was here. This is here. That is here a track she left behind. She must have been here before. Seems to be abandoned for a long time. Nina once taught me to read secret codes this squad used. I found it. Here. She left behind clues on the next location I was going to investigate. Echo is about to look closer to the hidden codes when a static noise suddenly appears from the abandoned, seemingly defective control panel nearby. Release. Some audio device seems to have been activated, and you hear a raspy voice all around you. No, that's impossible. It's been a while, Elise. How have you been? It's getting warmer now. Cooling system has some issues, so don't forget to repair it. You can come find me. Let me call your little problems go away. I'll never go back. Stop pretending. Why are you doing this? To devote everything to kindness and love. Never disregard what is righteous. Be fair, be just, be humble, be prudent. Was that what you taught me? Why would you betray Utopia? Didn't you write those rules yourself? Every fine rule grand vision has prerequisites. Above these foundations are a separate set of rules. Obviously. Everything has a price. Did I not teach you that as well? No, shouldn't be this way. Our Utopia never changed, Elisa. One day, you will understand what your father has done, just like they did. You will become my true family. Who are they? All right. You're seeking information on your friends, aren't you, Elisa? Is it Lena from Caribou? I remember her. She was a special one, stubborn, just like my little Elise. So you had a lot of fun together back then, didn't you? Was it something from earlier? Nata from Silver Falcon. She was a bit of a bookworm, wasn't she? Keep telling her not to read so much. They were more or less useless. Or is it enough? Elisa. The raspy voice starts laughing unabashedly. One day you will know what great work your father has been doing. If you want information on your friends, there are a few back files in this control panel. You can take them with you. But remember, I'm right in Utopia, waiting for you. The voice disappears before Echo can speak again. Echo? I'm alright. Oh, it was a he. Didn't you say there are backup files? Oh, didn't he say there are backup files in the control panel? Let's go find them. Oh, that was meant to be Pigman. That was Pigman's voice, wasn't it? Yes. I didn't leak our location. I don't know how he found me. No, you didn't. I appreciate it. Lee has been monitoring the surroundings during the entire operation. He has not detected any suspicious signals this whole time. I can't understand him. You were going to refrain from this topic, but Echo starts talking uninterrupted. Utopia when I was little was genuinely a wonderful place. It was like the paradise written in the books, a place where everyone lived in harmony. But I don't even know when he became like this. I never broke those rules even after I left Utopia. I thought Utopia would return to the way it was if I kept following the rules and defending justice. Was I wrong? Echo looks up, her eyes brimming with tears. Everything has changed. She quickly wipes away her tears and turns to look at you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying that at this time like this. The control panels all share common passwords. I remember a few of them. Let me give it a try. Her fingers tremble as she punches in the wrong codes a few times. The control channel buzzes alarmed. Echo. What's wrong? She hastily wipes her eyes again, trying to hide the trails of her tears. Justice itself isn't wrong. But I don't know what to do anymore. What even is justice? Aren't you doing a great job? I'm doing a great job? Remember when we first met outside the conservation area? You helped a woman who was being bullied. Could be a child's mother or an old man's daughter. Echo helping the woman could mean a full meal for a whole family. Even when she doesn't know what justice is or what she'd do, protecting the weak is already an act of justice. Whereas the concepts are never clear, knowing your desire and doing what's right is good enough. Is that so? Echo looks a little lost, but her fingers have stopped shaking. You put in the code again as she unlocks the control panel. I'm through. Our folder sits alone on the screen. Clicking on it reveals a document after document. Each document is a detailed file on one of Echo's friends, everything from the basic information to their hobbies and interests. The details. Father, Dr. Pigman was very nice to everyone. He even remembered everyone's birthdays and interests. Everyone in Utopia liked him back then. Can sentiments like that really be a facade? Lena's information is here. Echo opens a file titled ET-0215, Lena. Construct Squad Unknown. Attempted to infiltrate the outer flying fortresses of Utopia multiple times. Current status missing. It's great news. Lena is alive. Based on the direction she was going to investigate, this is the place. Opening the holographic map on the terminal, she pinpoints a new location. Near Conservation Area 107. Another conservation area with hedgehog creature related missing persons. This is no coincidence. We shall rest here tonight before keep going. Until then, let me continue the story of Utopia. Oh, that was only a sub-story. Damn. 8:20. Seems like we've got a lot of sub-stories to go. Just wanted to travel to the sun-kissed world with me. Let's go. It's story time. I was the cause of all these sins. Utopia would have existed if it weren't for me. Dr. Pittman was always doing experiments. He would occasionally ask for our help, although we didn't understand what he was doing. We were all happy to lend a hand. He encouraged us to become constructs when the time was right, saying that constructs could help more people. Therefore, I kept going despite how difficult the process was. He was really happy the day my operation succeeded. However, sincerely, look, the operation was successful. I'm also a construct now. I'm able to work with you in the future. Elise, you agreed to become a construct? I did. Father said I would be able to help him complete more work and enforce the rules in Utopia if I become a construct. I put a lot of thought into pinning this frame, Cecily. What's wrong? It's nothing. I'm just too tired. If you become a construct, it may not be a bad thing. At least you have a better shot leaving this place. Leaving this place? Are you saying we'll go on a mission together one day? I look forward to that day as well. Yeah. Me too. Cecilia's smile looks forced. Did Dr. Pickman say anything else? He mentioned you. Father took me to a physical examination after the operation. He said all my data looked good, just like yours. He said something about initiating the final plan. What is the final plan? I asked him about it, but he just said it was a grown-up thing. He said it would make us a real family, but I don't understand the rest. I see. By the way, where is Nata? She told me she had a book she wanted to recommend to me, but her roommate told me she was gone when I looked for her in her room earlier. Did she leave Utopia? Yes, she did. She was the last one. Sincerely, are you feeling unwell? Should you go see a doctor? I'm alright. Sincere smiles with relief as she has made a decision. Leaning down slightly, she caresses Elise's forehead, just like the countless times she did in the past. Sincerely? Elisa? Do you remember the fairy tale I used to tell you? The princess named Elsa? Of course, that was my favorite story. No matter how dangerous or difficult it is, there's always hope as long as you have righteousness and kindness in your heart. But keep it in your mind, please. There is nothing you need to fear as long as you let nothing change you. Justice is bound to echo through the land, and eventually... Several researchers are busy working inside Utopia Laboratory when Pigman opens the door and walks in. Is there still a problem? Yes, Doctor. Rejection reaction appears whenever we try to fuse different minds together. This marks the 58th external test subject. The extracted consciousnesses still reject each other. The rate of rejection has decreased, but it's fine. Failure is inevitable. Every path to truth is paved for countless failures. What about the samples from Utopia? We've deployed them, and your direction has proven accurate. The rejection rate of that batch lowered to 27.25%. But didn't you say? Don't worry, I found the solution. We've finished preparing the test subject we're going to use as the vessel. To lower the chance of rejection, prioritize planting the consciousness shard from our Utopia test subject to the vessel's mind. As long as our vessel is steadfast enough, we're able to cultivate a mind that is strong enough. Father! Elise, what is it? The new group of residents is behaving. They weren't happy with the resources that were rationed, so they took out other people's food and water. But we allocate those resources according to the rules. Elise complains angrily, and Beckman just looks at her compassionately. Those are not important anymore, Elise. Father? Elise cannot believe her ears, as her father disregards rules he used to care about the most. You can decide if you think it's wrong, Elise, and do what you want to do. I have to work on the experiment. This is a very important one. If it succeeds, we'll become a real family. Bringing a notice signed by Pickman, Elise disciplines disruptive residents harshly. Those who injured others have received half rations and exiled to the outermost part of Utopia until their conduct improves. Everyone receives a set amount of rations and can work to get extra. How can we take it from someone else? Today work is almost over, but there's still time until the break. I should go find Sincerely. She'll be able to tell me the story of Elise again if she has time. Well, she certainly is quite the taskmaster. Sincerely? Walking past the laboratory that has never been opened before, Elise suddenly stops in her tracks. She can hear Sincerely and Dr. Pittman talking inside. Have you really made up your mind? I think it's still still think it's a little bit of a shame. I was going to save you for the last, although that is more suitable as a test subject. You fit the vision I have in my research more. Only a mind that has gone through enough hardship can be strong enough. She isn't there yet. If I'm more suitable than her, like you said, why didn't you choose me in the first place? After all, Nata and the others were my teammates. However you put it, I'm the one who can be the core. Perhaps you're right. Do you want to take a look at our future Utopia? What are they talking about? The door's already open. Peeking through the gap is not technically... Elise carefully widens the gap a little bit and peeks inside where she sees Cicely coming next to her in an inactive suit of armor. So, Nata and the others are all inside now? Do I finally get to see you again, Nata, Sika, Arabella? She touches the armor's shoulder lovingly. Don't worry. Life stops for all of us here, so none of us will age or die. This is the ultimate Utopia. Sincerely chuckles ambiguously. Any other preparations? You can see them now if you want. That's it then. Sincerely. Elise has no idea what they're talking about, but she senses danger intuitively. The smell of blood spreads like rust soaked in rain. Elise opens the door regardless of the consequences, running towards Sincerely. Elise, shouldn't you be... The student was specifically chosen to do this during Elise's work hours. Elise never arrives late or leaves early, so why is she here right now? Go back, Elise. What are you doing? I'm too tired, Elise. I'm just going to rest. Don't be scared. Remember what I told you? Justice is bound to echo for the land. The storm might have invaded the skies, but the sun will shine on us one day. But I probably won't make it to that day. I'm sorry, Elise. I'm just too tired. Please allow me to be selfish for one time. See more of the world for me, if you would. No, no. Sincerely. The memory ends here abruptly. I don't remember what happened afterward. That was the first time I found out what Dr. Pigman was doing. He was conducting a horrifying experiment, and the most important ingredients for his experiment were Cecilia and me. Devote everything to kindness and love, never discard what is righteous. He made those rules, and he broke them as well. He always told me his experience was going to make us a real family, but I didn't know. Echo quiets down, looking mournfully. So this armor, she's Cecilia, but not entirely. Inside the armor are a lot of consciousness shards, some of which are quite damaged, while others wake up from time to time. Cecilia's acting on instinct most of the time. They classified Cecilia as a bioweapon, but those people who tried to connect to her were devoured by the enormous mind. Only I can establish a connection with her. Pigman didn't know why either, neither did I. She's protecting you. Perhaps she wants to protect me, but I just want them to travel this sun-kissed world with me. So his goal was to create a collective. Isn't that interesting? There's been a wave of new headship creatures attacks around here recently. Several constructs who went out patrolling disappeared. The people inside the conservation area are rightly scared. Hey, you there. Don't move. Who are you? Babylonian Task Force. I'm here on a mission. Should have received a notice from me. The staff member inspects your identification thoroughly before opening the door on the side. Small groups of people gather inside the conservation, muttering and discussing something. Seeing Echo and you approach, they all pretend nothing is going on and cautiously disperse. Something's amiss. People in the conservation area under Babylonia should not have reacted this way when they saw a commandant set here to investigate. Back in the other conservation areas you were investigating, some were glad to see Babylonia's rival, while others were mad that it took Babylon so long to send someone there. But none of them were this alert, as if they're all protecting a secret. I should be fine, I think. Doesn't seem too strange to me. Isn't the first chapter of Regulations of Conservation Areas to emphasize the importance of remaining alert and being cautious of outsiders? I don't see what's wrong with how they're acting. You're quite the expert in regulations. Regulations of Conservation are written into a thick tome. You wonder how she managed to memorize every rule in it. I just thought the book was great referencing material, so I read it a couple of times. The systems written in there are different from what I've learned. Did you used to learn things like this as well? We all learned from the same book before Utopia changed. Inside the book were all the rules we needed to follow in Utopia. It's different from the regulations of conservation areas, similarly, but not the same. Utopia's rules emphasize fairness and justice, kindness and virtues. It requested us to treat our people kindly and respectfully. The rules were so lovely, but they didn't seem to belong in this era. Meanwhile, the regulations of conservation areas will warn us about outsiders and refugees coming from beyond. Utopia's rules didn't mention anything similar. Utopia's rules taught us to find Dr. Pigman if we ran into problems. It would help us solve everything. Yes, to revert all problems to one man. Lena said that was wrong. Dr. Pigman couldn't possibly help everyone this way. But Dr. Pigman said he wanted to create a utopia on Earth, a place that was peaceful and decent, fair and just. Somewhere people could coexist lovingly, but Echo stops talking. Did Lena's message mention what she planned to do here? She mentioned she's seeing Corona's people around in the area, and she was coming here to investigate. It's those people. Echo pulls you away to hide. Not too far from outside of the conservation area stands a group of people in strange uniforms. Those are the combat uniforms of Aurora Squadron. What are they doing here? You sneak around them while hiding in the alley. The Aurora Squadron soldiers say something to their residents, and the residents all drop their tools in their hands, following the soldiers away from the conservation area. A few soldiers led in the front, while the rest bringing up the rear. As worried the residents are going to run away. What are they doing? An obviously external force entering the conservation area seemed to have alarmed the guards. So, why are they not here to stop them? Let's follow them. Right after they leave the safe zone of the conservation area, the soldiers begin to create a strange trials of fighting on the ground. That's the hetero creatures. Time's running out. Go after them. Still don't think this is a good place. Could have stayed in the Babylonians conservation area. Yes, we have to wait for supplies, blah blah blah. But at least they can clean. Means get without doing anything. Is there really such thing as a free lunch? Let's go back. It's getting late. This is different. They promised us. They promised food, water, food, and warm clothes. I don't want to go back. I don't want to work so hard only for a few supplies. Who cares about justice? I just want free bread. Date. What about you? Are you staying with Aska here? I don't know, but I'm so hungry. Tate, I don't care about these things. I just want food. Just want food. Is that the Babylonian commandant? Shh, quiet. Don't get caught by them. Let me get out of here. They seem reluctant to leave, but please give me more time. I have to bring them back. I promised their mother. Who's that? Nivi. Who are those two? They are from Babylonia. Nivi, why did you do this? I have to enter Utopia. No matter what. I'm gonna have to live the kind of life they describe. Oh, well, of course his friend is a rat. Bloody rats. We don't appreciate rats here. Let's go. Let's charge, go. Alright, that should have done the trick. Sup, my clankers. They are with Babylonia. The residents, they took away all in this warehouse. Yo, you wanna deal with me? Let's go chippity chop chop. Let's go. Charging up. Let's go. Goodbye. Oh, you're still alive. Oh no, they're dead. Okay. Yeah, just get the Let's get Cecily to kill him. To your surprise, the residents you saved did not look happy after you chased the Aurora Squadron away. Damn it! Did we miss the chance? Oh, why would you do this? The gentleman promised us water, food, and warm clothes. Those things come with a price. They were gonna experiment on you. No one cares. The gentleman told us we could become their family as long as we follow their rules. Why would you stop us from entering Utopia? Those people have left. We can't go to Utopia today. Go back to the conservation. It's late now. This place isn't safe anymore. The disappointed resident glares at Echo, but Echo ignores him as if she's used to it. Do you really think such a good thing exists? Certainly, they're promises. You just need to follow them. You wanted to follow them because you want to live, right? Who doesn't want to live? Do you think the big shots like you deserve to live in this world? You always want to live. Commandants and soldiers fight. Farmers farm. Everyone has to work hard to survive. The conservation area offers the same if you work hard. Water, food, warm clothes, and more. Do you really want to be there, family? Or are you just lazy? Imagine just rocking up to some guy complaining saying, I know you're a filthy slacker. Get to work. I've been almost killed 6 times already. You're nothing to me. You. Accusing others won't get you away from your problems. You already believe what she said, don't you? Where else would they stayed instead of running away with the Aurora Squadron? The woeful man walks away angrily, no longer berating Echo. She joins a few others and begins to walk back to the conversation area. A few are missing. Did they leave for the Aurora Squadron? Yeah. They were stealthily and joined the soldiers as they left hastily. Echo lets a quiet sigh. Some people are definitely seeking an easier life in this world, while others are at their wits' end, no longer motivated to go forward. Instead of an easier life, it's more like a way out. Stop overthinking it. Echo signs again. Right, I haven't made you yet, Commandant. When I escaped Constella and decided to look for Lena, I found a bunch of conservation areas like this one. You mean? Hickman wasn't giving up on his plan. He's taking advantage of the mobility of his flying fortresses to build many incomplete utopias like this everywhere. They usually indoctrinate the residents by enticing them with plentiful resources. They tell them they can become their family if they follow their rules, and the well-behaved ones can enter their utopia. I saved some residents like them before, but none of them believed a word I said. You're the only one who spoke up for me. Thank you. Remember the story you told me? Justice is bound to echo through the land. Don't be afraid, Elise. Justice is bound to echo through the land. The storm might have invaded the skies, but the sun will shine on us once again. There's nothing to worry about. Even when the rules here begin to crumble, even when you're trapped in this quagmire, at least you're still alive. You still dismantle everything. There's no time to waste. Let's go. Blurry memories linger in her mind. Something has been shattering in her heart, only become the foundation of a stronger wall. Echo? Sorry, I got carried away. What are you saying? You can follow the trials of the Aurora Squadron to their base. Time is short, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Stuff. I like stuff. Following the wind. And she knows the sky is out there to be blue, the grass to be green, the ocean to be boundless, and yet she's never set foot out of Utopia. It is late at night. The soldiers of the Aurora Squadron have entered the woods before you. In order to keep an eye on them, Echo and you have set up a simple camp here. They've stopped. The base must be nearby. Are you scared? No, I'm not. It's just the closer I get here, the closer some memories become. Back then, right after sincerely passed. Why would you do that, Father? Is something wrong? Alright, I can give you 10 minutes. Doctor in the white coat smiles gently as he looks at the time. Are you here to recite the Utopia protocols to me, or someone violated one of our little Elise's rules? You know what I'm talking about, sincerely. Devote everything to kindness and love, never describe what is righteous, walk in the path of wisdom without arrogance or faltering. Didn't you make those rules? Experimenting on Susie, was that kindness and love? Was that righteousness and just? Of course, Elise. Hickman smiles assuredly. It's the most wonderful place. Somewhere even better than our utopia here. Everyone can live together happily there. Everyone gets to wield incredible power. It is the most wonderful thing, Elise. But our research isn't complete. Once it's done, everything will be even greater. Alright, I still have something to do. Go play by yourself. He still treats her as a kid. He smiles as he pats Lisa on the shoulder before quickly stepping away and leaving Elise by herself. No, that is wrong. That is wrong. She keeps reading the same phrase helplessly, despite her heart telling her that everything Pigman said was wrong. The education he has received fails to reboot those reasons. Is that really right? Do righteousness and justice, fairness and order look like this? Elise, what are you doing here? We just took in a new batch of constructs. We can use some help. Shouldn't you be working today? I see. I'll head there right now. Arriving at the door, Elise sees a few constructs approaching her. Soldiers from the Aurora Squadron were walking behind them as if escorting the constructs. This is Utopia. Most people don't come here despite how much they want to. So you're lucky. Here lies the only Utopia in this apocalypse. Psst. Why didn't Babylon move here if this place is so great? Babylon is nothing compared to this. You should treasure what you have here. I don't know anything about treasuring, so why don't you let me head back? You can't come back if you leave. What? Who would want to come to a place like this? You. He's about to say something and he sees Elise approaching. Elise, I'll leave them to you. I have other businesses to tend to. Be careful, this Lena in the group is a troublemaker. I thought all constructs volunteered to come here. Yeah, oh yeah, she was heavily injured and we rescued her. She has to pay us back, so to speak. Fairness, am I right? Nothing's free. I see. You can take care of your business. Soldier hardly salutes Elise before running off. Elise returns to Gasha properly before turning around and looking at the constructs they just took in. Hello, my name is Elise. I'm in charge of moral education here in Utopia. You can find me if you need anything. Hypocrite. Sharp voice interrupts Lisa. How moral can a secret corona laboratory be? Enough of your crocodile tears. You caught me, so I admit defeat. But don't you brainwash me with your morals. But he said they saved you and brought you back here because you were badly injured. Neil lets out a disdainful sneer. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. She looks daggers at Elise without saying another word. Oh no. That was a rude awakening. Lion has fallen by the time Elise is done helping the newly arrived construct settle in. Long overdue for maintenance, the ventilation system in the public area screeches and painful creaks. Elisa sits in Cecilia's favorite corner, her mind a mess. They said they saved Lena when it was obvious that she was brought there against her will. Who's lying there? You need to see everything with your very own eyes, Elise. People's words need to be taken with a grain of salt. You need to see things with your own eyes, and listen with your own ears. See things with your own eyes and listen with your own ears. Keeping her eyes slightly closed, Elise replays in her head what's happened recently. Utopia has grown increasingly tense since Cecily passed on. Her father has upped patrol around the gate. The Utopia has seen an influx of voluntary newcomers these days. These people just received a marked 4th group today, which is why she's starting to entertain the idea of having a conservation with construct that is gone by Lena. She seems to know a lot of things that Elise has never been told, such as Corona, and how people see this place as a laboratory base. Past midnight, one of Utopia's flying fortresses. Lena keeps her eyes partially closed, feigning sleep as she observes the patrol outside the quiet and leaves a mark on the wall behind her. Never actually thought she'd find herself in a ride like this while trying to track down Corona's research base. What exactly is Corona doing here, though? Does Babylon seriously have no clue about this research base when it's so big and obvious? 1 step, 2 steps, patroller steps in his tracks, and starts having a conversation with someone. Hello. Isn't she the construct from the afternoon that claimed to be in charge of Utopia's moral education? Well, what brought you here? Your rooms aren't here, if my memory serves me correctly. I wanted to talk to you about this Corona laboratory base that you mentioned earlier today. And you have no clue as to what those are even though you live here. Good job trying to trick me out of me, but I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not tricking you into telling me anything. I'm just trying to figure out things out. Everyone here knows this place is Utopia. Does that Corona have anything to do with it? Without saying a word, Lena fixes the gaze on the closed truck before her. The Caribous specialize in tracking and spying, and being a caribou herself, Lena naturally has these skills down to a fine art. It appears that this construct called Elise doesn't have a full grasp of what's going on in this laboratory base except Lena still can't rule out the possibility that she's just plain dumb to pry things out of her. I have nothing to say about that. She squints her eyes again, looks away from Elise. I need to go now, but I'll be back. Elise does a complicated salute before turning and around quietly and leaving. It's been 10 days since Lena arrived in Utopia. Under cover of night, Lena documents the landscape of this place as part of her daily work, noting that these flying fortresses do not stay forever at one location, and they've been assembled and reassembled if needed. Which spells trouble. Lena's trying to come up with a way to get out of this place right when she gets back to her room. However, she hears a quiet voice coming from the other side of the window. Lena? What are you doing here again? I assigned you to this room because I passed by during my night patrols here. How was your day today? When Lena hears a few quiet rustles of clothes coming through the window, she can almost picture Elise doing her complicated salute even without seeing her. How do they manage to raise a child so pure and naive in a place messed up as this one? You've been standing sentry here for 10 nights in a row now. Don't you feel tired? I feel fine. Work is work. I don't really want to do night patrols these days. According to the Utopia protocols, we're supposed to look out for one another, so I thought I could do night patrols in their place. Are you stupid or what? Well, I was hoping to learn about Chrono today, if you don't mind, and while we're at it, why do people call Utopia the laboratory base? Do you really have no clue what's going on here? I mean, they're doing physicizations with constructs here. What else can it be called? An orphanage home? But that's not all they are. Are you really that naive? Anyone here, and this includes you, could be the next guinea pig. Why do you think they only take people in, but they never let them out? Have you ever set foot beyond this place? Lena's last question seems to have hit home. All Lisa knows about Utopia is that it's a gigantic flying fortress flanked by numerous smaller flying fortresses. All she knows is that everyone living in Utopia abides by the rules here, and that they can live happily together as long as they abide these rules. And she knows the skies out there to be blue, and the grass to be green, the ocean to be boundless, and yet she has never set foot outside Utopia. Lena lets out a barely noticeable sigh. Having spent quite some time now observing this girl, she knows for certain that Elise knows nothing about anything here. I've seen them in the middle of an experiment. Dr. Pickman took silly, and I'm gonna stop them. Because what they do goes against Utopia protocols. People are supposed to help one another, devote everything to kindness and love, and never discard what is righteous. I will do what I can to help you and your people to get out of this place. Wait, don't! Her words disappearing into the slight air. Lena hears nothing more from the other side of the wall. With a frown, she tries to think of something to stop Elise as she hears the same quiet footsteps approaching the wall again. You? Before Lena even finishes her words, she hears the rustles of clothes again. Good night, Lena. The stars tonight too shall shine upon your dream. It took Lena... Oh, sorry. It took Lena a long time to finally let her guard around me. She would say hi to me at the recess sometimes, tell me what's going on out there, and occasionally teach me how to shoot with a bow. When she looked at me in the eye, I always had this feeling that she was seeing someone else through me. She wouldn't tell me anything though when I would ask her. She only told me to keep myself safe and never fully trust anyone, no matter who they are. When she trusted me so much herself. Full stream. Against the sky in which the stars hang from far wide apart, low hums on the armor emits an reminiscent alarm calls. Commandant? What's wrong? Your body wakes right up and readies itself for a fight after years of being on the front lines. There is movement up ahead. probably trying to make their way back when it's still dark. Let's tag them. Following the Aurora squadron soldiers, you see a black airship towering in the woods in the faint morning light. 2 hills later. So this is Utopia. Not as big as I imagined. The whole of Utopia is much bigger than this. Oh, pardon me. This should be one of the smaller flying fortresses out on the mission. Utopia consists of a giant, gigantic. We know this information. This mission has been shoved in our face about 6 times already. Echo stops cold and presses her hand on her forehead. Mind interference. Yes, they have probably planted a smaller armored device somewhere nearby that is equipped with a mind disruptor. But it isn't something I can't handle with your connection, though, Commandant. Let's keep moving ahead and see what's ahead. With it, the 2 of you proceed carefully along the perimeter of the woods. A few tents scatter in the small flying fortress, where a couple of refugees just being wounded or constructs line up for some sort of registration. Once verification is complete, I led to the flying fortress. They're still doing this. It's trying to keep it on the low so they don't see us. I know where the back door is on one of these smaller fortresses. We need to get those people out of there first. Before you can stop her, Echo has put away her weapon and started making her way quietly toward the flying fortress. Inside a lab in Utopia, Elise and the Grey Raven Commandant have reached the flying fortress. I see. Pigman turns around from the experiment. She's got eyes glistening with a gentle smile. Little Elise is still as impatient as always. But I don't suppose a fruit ever becomes ripe when the juice of life isn't nurtured with the hardship of life. She's always been the best of them all. By the way, that girl from the other day who tried to pay me a visit but ended up in Babylonia, I don't even know who sent her to me. Seemed quite impulsive, saying that she wanted to join us. Where is the thing she brought with her? Here. The researcher calls up a series of files on the screen. After quickly going through the files, Pigman falls silent. I see. Should I try to get in touch with them? No, we stay put for now. Let's wait and see that we're getting out the next batch of test subjects. I can't play on the table without any chips in our pocket. Don't you agree? I believe Elise is not going to let me down, right? He keeps his gaze on a report detailing Elise's activities and breaks into another gentle smile. Inside the flying fortress, navigating the flying fortress is a breeze of Echo leading the way. What hits you as weird, though, is that all the things here are out of place. The sign of this place is still under construction. This is where most of Pigman's men come to rest. Echo quietly pushes open the door. We just see countless mind disruptors on the other side. It's a trap. Cut off power connection. Gadgets are no longer working, but Echo still looks in pain. You can only imagine the pain she's going through, having had her mind messed up by the interference waves as powerful as the ones that had just hit her. Lock the door. You've got a hold of Lee in the task force squad nearby. Ask them to come down for help, but before they get here, you know you have to help Echo establish her mind first. Attempt another deep dive. Calm down, Elise. Sincerely. While the Grey Raven Commandant is stabilizing your mind out there, perhaps you can take this opportunity to find more clues. This area in the mind might hold the memory behind that gate. Let's have a look over there. The gate now opens. The other one closes. What is that over there? Judging from the height, you should be okay to jump down from here. Wow, she jumped. There's jumping in the game. Isn't that amazing? Do you see the machine down there? Let's go check it out. He's name Sicily. Identity a Babylonian construct, Silver Falcon Captain. Cause taken in during battle conservation area at 112. Notes allergic to eggs. Please mind when preparing where she's a construct. Comment. Excellent construct with a strong will and calm mind. Stayed after realizing that escape was not possible. She's trying to escape, but that's fine, because it takes a strong mind to bear the most beautiful fruit. Ha. This file has document things I don't even know myself. It's silly, are you alright? It's okay. There's a little truth you need to know as well. He's name Nata. Identify Babylonian construct Silver Falcon Captain. Cause taken during battle. Likes reading and orders books to Utopia. Trust her captain, that's good. I believe they will be a perfect partners together. It's Nata's. Ugh, calm down, Elise. Watch out, Echo. Dun dun dun. She's having a migraine. Problem solved. Oh, innocent. Don't overthink it. It's just an illusion in the mind. But they were lies that actually existed. I remember everything and bring justice back to them. No one once helpless, at least. Let me have a clear look at things I once forgot. Careful. My nerds, kill them all. We already had this. Oh, they didn't immediately die. I'm disappointed. Alright, now they did. Grown a lot. Let's get going. He's someone's waiting for you out there. Echo's mind is stabilized. She seems to be trying to wake up from her deep mind. Echo, this place isn't safe. You need to get out of here as soon as you can. Ah, Commandant! Can you move? I think you can move just fine. You need to get those people out of here. She struggles to her feet. Wait, can't let Utopia take any more lives. From outside the door, the sound of shots being fired can be heard. Help is here. From Babylonia? What about Cecily? She merely straightens up trying to hide the armor. Don't worry, it's a friend. When you open the door, you see Lee in the hole trying to open the door to the room that keeps all the constructs locked up. Commandant? Lee casts you a frown, apparently unhappy with what he's seeing. This is Lee from my team. Greetings, I'm Echo. Though still haunted by the pain, Echo insists on greeting Lee with her complicated salute anyway. Commandant, I've roped all those constructs who claim they are from a Roma squadron and to keep us hidden. I've intercepted the signals around here, and according to this log, they've kept most of these constructs and humans came here voluntarily. Voluntarily? They said Utopia had promised them a future where they wouldn't have to worry about food or anything else, as long as they agreed to become a part of this place. I went through the file myself. Many of them are runaways, some of them of the other factions. Some are being hunted down, some are registered, as in dead and official records. The others came because they wanted a stable life. Lee passes you the file before casting a look at Echo, who's doing her best to convince the constructed humans to leave. I'm afraid she isn't going to get the reaction she wants from them. Utopia is like a beautiful dream when it appeals to the exhausted souls running around her home. They might know what is a bottomless abyss, but why does that matter? When there isn't anywhere else for them to go. Just like what Lee said, Echo walks back this way, looking upset, getting not a single positive reaction. They'll want to follow Royal's question to search for the actual Utopia. Is Utopia as appealing as they think it is? No one can resist a promise when already driven to the wall. I'm really worried about Lena. She's gonna get brainwashed by Pikmin if she doesn't make it out of Utopia and ends up all alone again. Everyone's gonna be able to live happily together forever and ever. Life stops for all here, so no one will age or die. Is she gonna end up like Sincerely? It's not gonna happen. You need to have some faith in her. You're right. There's no way she's gonna fall for anything Pikmin says. I have to have faith in her. Lena walks up this way, having finished her head count. What are we going to do with these people here? Let's take them back to the nearest conservation area first. The Task Force squad you've reached out to earlier has arrived. With their help, the constructs and humans are board in groups and transport figures that take them to the nearest conservation area. Echo volunteers to go on a patrol after she leaves. Lee stops what he's doing and looks this way. Purifying Force isn't too far from here now, Commandant. This is who are after the corona test subjects? Right, Osarius is leading them. I'm trying muddying the waters with some information, but there's no telling how long that can keep them stalled. Something that strikes me as weird, though, is that there is another force trying to muddy the waters too. It won't be found any time soon, but I have no luck identifying the other force. Their purpose is still unclear. And if they ever find... Don't worry. If you put together information you gather from Echo's deep mind and send it to Asimov in an encrypted format. Minutes later, your termination rings on an encrypted call from Asimov. Go. What you sent me. Is this something you saw in the mind of that construct going by Echo? Correct. I see. Oh, pardon me. Would it be possible for you to get her hands on more of this data? Should be still sitting inside Utopia. Utopia. Coroner's research space stationed by their secret force. Those cunning bastards. It's probably the first time Asimov actually swore. Asimov falls silent. When you're done telling him about what Echo has been up to, a moment later he speaks again. I'm trying my best to keep Babylonia out of this. But you have to get your hands on the data on Utopia before Babylonia finds out what you've been up to. I do everything I can. Just process the data you sent my way and forward it to Nikolai and Wells. We have no idea where the construct came from, so the data is meant for them to use as a bargaining chip if Corona ever finds out about this. Right about Wells? Yep, as far as this goes, Wells has been treating very lightly, and Insider told me that Wells has once led an excellent squad they called Silver Falcon. Except they got wiped out completely doing a simple surface mission, and the mission location was Conservation Area 112. You remember seeing Conservation Area 112 in a report for winter. A conservation area destroyed by hedge creatures. Now, how it was described. I bet Corona was behind that. We have nothing definite to back up, but Asimov nods at you. By the way, I sent your data report to the control court a week ago. Asimov nods at you, and there was always certain things that shouldn't be talked about, even over an encrypted channel. I sent her down to Earth to look into a normal samples as soon as I have the chance. You know exactly who Asimov is referring to. It's great. It's been so long since I last saw her. That's all I have for now. Let me know if anything else comes up. Asimov hangs up. You might have a much better chance with Lucia coming back to us, but that doesn't mean I'll be fine with you putting yourself on the line. Are you going to keep looking for Lena with just Echo? Yes. Help can't reach us fast enough when needed. If the three of us find ourselves in the same pitfall, I'll take Lucia to rendezvous with both of you as soon as she can take surface missions. I'm gonna use the blue real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright. I just see my body contorting. It hasn't done that before. Contorting, contorting, spazzing around like some sort of corpse. It looks quite weird, to be honest. Very weird. Hang on. Oh dear. Anyway, let's continue. Next bit. Mark of Terror. I don't even know which one's the secret story anymore. So I'm just continuing the logical path. Might as well do it in your recorder. The bow whispers to the arrow before it splits forth. Your freedom is mine. Oh, it's story time. Is he coming with us? Echo says as she feels for the campfire on the ground. Lee has another mission to attend to. Lee hasn't quite changed his attitude about your decision after your brief discussion, but he stays around for a recon as told anyway. Dr. Pigman is very cautious and he makes sure these life fortresses are never too far from one another. If Lena didn't make it out of here, we can still save her if we go there as soon as possible. Dr. Pigman isn't going to go easy on Lena, because this isn't the first time we tried to run away. As a corner of Utopia, where no surveillance cameras can reach, Elisa and Lena are trying to cover their movements with books. How exactly do you think you can help me get out of this place with this stupid plan of yours? Elisa's sneer, even trying to hide her sarcasm. I don't think this plan of yours is going to fly. So stay here. I'll try to get out of here on my own and come back with some people to flatten this place and get you out of here. No, not only that I'm helping you get out, I'm letting these people walk free too. At least cast a look at the after cabin of Utopia after the corner of our eye. Just people willing to immerse themselves in made-up fantasy. There are too people who speak up when served the same fantasy. And the after cabin is where they are detaining the constructs and humans who refuse to be part of their experiment. Dr. Pigman has maintained that these people are being detained for violating for the Utopia protocols, yet at least has come across no evidence to prove this claim for a thorough investigation. Well, you do know that I'm. Well, you do know that I know every patrol route here like the back of my hand. I know exactly where the keys are to the control room. Once the plan is underway, I'll come up with an excuse to get the keys to open the door up to the after cabin. The guards are usually most relaxed from 3:30 to 4 in the morning, meaning they only have half an hour to act. There are a few emergency tunnels in the fireman fortress, and I've marked them on this map for you to keep. Says Elise as she crumbles up a napkin and messes scribble of a map, stuffs into Lena's hand. Talk about being naive. Are you seriously going to trust someone with your life when you've known them only for a few months? Lena looks incredulously at Elise. Are you saying that I shouldn't be trusting you after we spend so much time together? You've taught me not only an archery, but as a recon and anti-recon. Are all these signs of you placing your trust in me? That's not. Looking at the innocent face of Elise, Lena suddenly feels deflated. Having been betrayed and gone back on her feet up from crippling hardships, Lena thought she had already built a wall around her so thick she could never trust anyone ever again. This wall, however, seems to be quite buckling under Lisa's burning courage of letting through a sliver of light that shines upon the darkness behind the wall. Lena has made up her mind to never trust anyone ever again without a pinch of salt. She's finding it impossible to turn this young lady away when she's coming on with such persistence. Elise has been waiting by her room for 1 full month already, bringing her a new plan every single day. Lena might have started communicating with her for the purpose of learning more about Utopia's internal affairs, but is that really all she has been doing? Lena can't help but wonder when she started seeing the young girl like a baby sister. Was it the time when Elise let her in on her childhood? Or was it when she managed to dodge the guards and release help? Or was it the time when she taught Elise how to properly shoot with a bow? Or was it Lena? Elise stands up. Though still fresh-faced, she now exudes the vibrancy of a typical fearless adult. My father is wrong. It is my duty to help see that. I'll help you, all of you, get out of here, with or without your trust. I'll play by the Utopia protocols to pursue my own justice. Lena stops dead in her tracks and sees up the girl with a frown. The hair is similar in color, but they're about the same height, except Elise's eyes are brimming with courage and hope, both which Lena has already lost. You. Lena finds herself at a loss of words. Just hold your horses for now. I've come with an excuse to stop by the after cabin and see if the people in there want to leave. I'll let you know exactly what you need to do after that. Alright. And it fails. Pigman has done a great job selecting who to put on the after cabin. Every single one of the constructs and humans in there hates this place guts and wants to leave right in the second they could. At night, Lisa and Lena open the doors at the same time. Operation starts. As per the plan, Lisa gets the key and this is the control room and locks the after cabin. Meanwhile, Lena waits on the people at the tunnel's entrance before reuniting Lisa to escape from this airborne prison. Are they gonna jump? I know constructs are hardy, but damn. This is it. After Elise enters the command, the after cabin's door light turns green. While preparing to leave and run over Lena in the tunnel, she notices the notebook on the table labeled Elise, grabbing her attention. Is that my name? She opens the notebook, thinking it's just a normal examination report. However, it's her file. The examination has... Wait, it's the logo of the world government. The examination has finished. We found a gem in this batch. She is young, about 3 to 4 years old. The older kids say no one knows where she's from. They all seem to have just shown up out of nowhere one day when they woke up during their escape. As far as I'm concerned, she's a godsend. Named her Elise. I'm gonna raise her myself. I'm gonna teach her things and turn her into what I want her to be. There's no doubt she's gonna be the best. 6 samples from the runaway kids were modified and turned into constructs. Experiment shows that the fusion rejection rates of their mind went down by a few percent points. And based on all the experiments conducted, my guess that this is due to the fact they all used to live by the same social orders. With the research grant I received, I'm going to turn my flying fortress into a utopia, where I keep all the samples and manage them together. This is going to be my greatest experiment yet. I'll build a spotless, perfect society and walk away with the best ingredients. I sent Corona an application for a batch of quality ingredients, and in no time they sent me the ingredients exactly as I asked them to. The best of them all is Cecily from Silver Falcon. She's so perfect, and what I currently have, Elise is probably the only one who can hope to measure up to her. But I'm just taking my own time now since Elise is still young. Utopia has just gone underway. Everything is just starting now. And when everything is ready, we're able to make contact with the greater being. With that greater being. And so when all consciousness will have become one, allowing us always to see one another again. Just sounds like he's making his own red flood. A collection of consciousness. All into one. Where all can see all again. Elise, is everything okay? We're by the tunnel's entrance now. says Lena over the communication device. Right. I'm on the way now. She gives her eyes a quick rub before putting away the notebook and hurrying out of the room. Elise, everything okay? By the tunnel's entrance, Lena casts a frown at Elise. Her eyes red. Elise appears to have been crying. I'm okay. Is everyone else? I asked them to go ahead without us. I thought I'd stay here to wait for you because it's pretty safe inside the tunnel. Not to mention, they've got a team of combative constructs with them in case anything comes up. Aren't you coming with us? Let's go. Ready to go, Elise bites her lips. Right then, the other side's notebook slips out of her pocket. What's this? Lena quickly helps her pick it up. Inside the tunnel, pages in the notebook flaps the wind coming through the ventilation pipes. Elise looks quietly at the notebook that's now in Lena's hand. Making no attempt to take it back, with a frown, Lena quickly flips through the notebook. Are you crying? No, I'm not. Putting up a tough front, Elise rubs her eyes and tries to cover her red eyes with her hair. It always makes me wonder why my father ended up the way he is today. Is it because of something that someone said to him? Did someone go south with his research, or is it because some sort of power got into him? This is something I've been thinking long and hard, but since I found out he had killed sincerely. But it never once crossed my mind that Utopia, this place that I love all my heart, was built with such malice to begin with. Utopia is a mistake to begin with. And so am I. That's not true. Lena pulls Alice toward her, goes around the pipe, raises her hand, and somewhat awkwardly but gently touches Lena's forehead. Utopia might be a mistake, but you aren't. Do you hear that? You know what? Lena gestures for Elise to lean against the pipe beyond which roars gusts of wind, something that Elise has never heard of in Utopia. That's what wind sounds like, and that too is what freedom sounds like. Reaching the tunnel's exit, Lena hops out and turns around and extends her hand at Elise. Let's go. Go where? Didn't you say you want to pursue your justice? Though the fainting starlight and thickening clouds, the morning sun seems to have endowed Lena with a pair of wings soaring into the sky. Leave this place has always been a mistake, and pursue freedom. Once you leave Utopia, I'll help you apply for a position of force that will be able to join me on Earth's missions once probation is over. And I'll show you all the things that's never seen before. Deserted towns, grasslands so vast you can't see the edge, caves, rocky mountains, rivers, and oceans. Oceans? As she mumbles, Elise reaches her hand out at Lena. No one is born a sin. It makes no sense for you to feel guilty when you've played no part in Utopia's wrongdoings. Let's go. Let me show you what the world has to offer. And you and Lena got separated after that. Lena and I didn't make it out of there at the time. There were traitors in the after cabin. Only a few of us managed to get out thanks to the temporary squad of combative constructs Lena assembled. Lena and I and those who stayed in the rear were caught, taken back to Utopia. Dr. Pigman came to speak to me many times. He didn't seem to understand why I tried to help those people get out of Utopia. He thought he was giving Utopia his all and doing the world a favor. He failed to understand why I couldn't understand any of that. I tried to run from Utopia quite a few times after that, but I never made it out with heavier surveillance that Lena had been put under. They took care to block off many of the hidden tunnels in Utopia too. Pigman was ready with all the preliminary work he had done. He found this armor, the best vessel he could have hoped for. So this armor is what came out of his research. He tried to infuse the armor with all the consciousness that he had successfully integrated. When by his original plan, the dominant consciousness should have been Celsi and I, but his experiment failed. Most of the integrated consciousness lost themselves and became a chaotic lump. Pigman, he tried to put me into the armor, except the consciousness in it didn't seem to want me around. It was feeling Echo can't put into words. The experiment itself failed, but she felt no pain. Rather, she felt as though her consciousness was wrapped with fluffy clouds, gently pushed out of the armor. It was sincerely, or she, or rather they, were still trying to protect Elise, even in death, when they've been turned into a boiling shards in mine, even when they were on the verge of disappearing while they were burned. Echo didn't become part of the armor, but her mind, by a stroke of fate, established a connection with the minds of the girls in the armor. Pigman carried on with the research of Echo and the armor, while trying to put together a new vessel capable of holding a sizable mine. I could hear Cecily talk every now and then, and sometimes she would enter my mind and show up using my body too. Dr. Pittman wasn't aware of this, though, so I took advantage of that and did a few more things. I got my hands on some data. Cecily told me that the data would lead me to the encryption key, and that key could disable the control room's internal system. Except I haven't gotten to the bottom of the data. I can do that if you think you can trust me with it. I do trust you. I mean, I've got nothing more to lose anyway. Echo passes you the memory device that contains the data. You connect it to your terminal and encrypt the data in it before sending it to Asimov. It will take no time. Thank you. There's no way I could have made this far without your help, and destroying Utopia would have been some sort of far-fetched dream. Well, the one who came to me first, though. I've only been able to get this far thanks to you. Keeping her gaze on the campfire, Echo lets out a sigh. I've never been so superstitious, but this, I guess, I never have a better way to put it other than the work of fate. But I think you should thank your hard work instead. Think so? Of course. As the campfire pops and crackles, Echo looks at the armor next to her, fully engrossed. Justice is bound to echo through the land. The storm might have invaded the skies, but the sun will shine on us once again. Is that why you changed your name to Echo? No, I wasn't talking about myself. I mean, usually uncomposed the girl blushes pink at your remark. But you're right. Justice is bound to echo through the land. You're the one bringing them home, so you must press on. I sure hope I can. I sure hope I won't let them down. Her mumbled words melt into wind and vanish. Well, we're pretty much halfway through the story now. It's definitely longer than the last one. Then again, it is a main chapter. What are we up to? We're at renewal. So we have Renaissance de Fantasiskia, which I'm a bit annoyed with the Ayla and Selena didn't unite. I don't like Witchery's Shackles. Chaos Ensnared, interesting. Ever Glowing. I don't really like Spiral of Coronas. Do I like Across the Sphere Sea? New Divide, I don't like her last bow. Savine Lucium, I like Evernight Beats, Last Spark, Prison Sight. Yeah, I like those. Fake Ascension, Coolong, No Auras, Eternal Engine, Fallen Sight, I don't like. But I did not like the Corruption arc. There was some interesting moments, but Consumed by Darkness and the Invar Collapse. It's, yeah. Yeah. In the end, Ascension and Corruption are very different to Renewal and Fate. Especially Renewal is very different storytelling from the beginning. I'm just feeling old now. 3 years. The global release has been out for 3 years, and all the Chinese release has been out for 4 years. Oh, did I get a new reward? Okay, more little cubies. But still, it's... Man, 3 years. 3 bloody years. I haven't been as dedicated to this game as I did before. But, yeah. Certainly has been quite something. That's certainly certain. Well, anyway, I'm gonna end the stream here. I will be seeing you all next time. I'm definitely gonna be continuing the story. Good luck, and take care.